Hello? Oh, I need to figure out how to get the chat set up when I'm in this view. See if I zoom out a little bit. Nope, it's not gonna let me do that. Okay, started a little early. Hey, Mike. Oh, just doing some stuff in the shop. Thought I'd bring. Can you guys hear me? I have my remote mic thing set up, and I believe it is plugged in correctly. Hey, Casey. So yeah, hopefully you guys can hear me. Just thought I'd bring you guys along, just doing stuff in the shop after hours. Hey, yeah, welcome everyone. So yeah, hey James. It's kind of worked all my jobs today, and just have, as always, especially in a shop where you buy used tools and stuff, there's always endless stuff to go through at the end of the day. So I thought I'd bring you guys along. Sorting. These are all MT1 bits. I got some from the yard sale last weekend. I had some existing ones, so I was going to do a video on making a quick holder for them, but I figured I need to go through them first. And then it's sorting day, so I got a bunch of taps and normal drill bits and dies, and there's always this kind of work at night. So yeah, thought I would do this and chat with you guys a bit, because this is very, very monotonous work. But you know, especially if you bring in a lot of used tools, this is, yeah, you get them for cheap, but there's always a time attached to it. Yeah, there's hundreds of dollars in drill bits here, but by the time I clean them, make a holder for them, organize them, sharpen them, you know, I'll have, you know, a couple hours in it. And that's, especially when you're busy, that's billable time. So, you know, everything balances out. You buy new, put it right away, and go from there. So usually the last couple hours of the night, I sort stuff in the shop, clean stuff in the shop, rearrange things, plan out tooling for the next day, or go through welding rods and stuff. Hey, Real. So yeah, you bring the stuff in cheap, but there's always, hey, CB. So yeah, I was just rifling through these tonight. I don't know how big of a holder I need to make for my drill bits. These are all for the orange drill press I have, the Gossinger. It's a Morse Taper 1. So I want to make a dedicated holder and drill bits to go next to that drill press, just for efficiency's sake. I didn't realize how many I had, so now I have to do a bunch of sorting, which I probably won't end up doing the sorting. I'll just end up chatting with you guys, which is perfectly fine by me. You go to the chat here a bit. Yeah, I get so much stuff secondhand. In mills, I buy new. I've got a couple. You don't really get those deals around here where you get got people on Craigslist or Facebook selling brand new end mills. So I buy those new, but I have all my taps. I don't think I've ever bought a new tap and die because I pick up so much of that stuff, and it's always usually barely used. So yeah, a lot of my stuff comes used, so you always got to go through it and sharpen them. I sharpen all my drill bits on a bench grinder. I have a Drill Doctor. It's the bigger one. I think it's a 750 or something like that. And I've picked it up at a yard sale, and I've never used it. I might tinker with that a bit. But I've sharpened so many of these on grinders, it's faster for me just to do that. These are all in pretty good shape. A lot of times when you get these, there'll be a little, surface rust on them. That'll clean up. Some of them are. I find ones like this. That'll zoom. That spun quite a bit. That's really chewed up. It's almost like someone grind. I don't know if that's showing up. Yeah, that's pretty chewed up. So I won't probably mess around with that much stuff. And putting some stuff away. We got from last week. Here's that Wells Tool Co. die holder. Yeah, it's got some brazing happened to it. That's why the guy was saying the die was not centered in there. Well, put both the bolts in it and it will be. So I'm going to clean this up. I don't use a lot of these older dies, but I have a set of bolt dies I use a lot. Chat here. Oh, sorry. Drill sharpening machines are super, super rare in my area. You'll see the, like the Baldor ones that have the tilting tables. You'll see like one of those every 4 or 5 months. And that's about it. Machine tools are very hard to come by in my area. So, I'd like to get a fancier drill sharpener. I don't know if I want to get into like, resharpening end mills and stuff like that. I guess I could. I don't have a lot of time for that. And with end mills as comparatively cheap as they are, I don't do a lot of milling. I do mostly lathe work. So, but I would like to get one and mess around with it. But when they do show up here, they go crazy high. All machines here in my area, I'm in the Pacific Northwest in Washington State, just crazy high. And I'm on the east side of the state, which is even worse. On the west side where the shipyards and everything are, and kind of by the northwest part of Oregon, the Portland area, there's a lot more machines up there. Hey, Lyndon, very cool. Always pick up all the drill chucks. They go for nothing. And well, I shouldn't say I have a drawer with probably 40 drill chucks in it. But when you see a Jacobs chuck for $1, I've heard about the Boeing sales. I had a buddy that used to get a lot of drill bits from there. The longer ones. I haven't seen them advertise sales lately, though, to be honest, I haven't looked for sales there lately. But, especially up here, man, even auction prices are getting crazy. I will look. I have some jaw kits. I'm not sure what size, but I will look. Hey, Jose. Um, yeah, I wear out the chucks on my bench. I drill a lot of holes, doing pump pad mounts and stuff like that. So still on the lookout for a radial arm drill. They show up in the scrap yard maybe once a year, twice a year, but they're beat. They are very beat when they go there. So I have a crazy idea to make a vertical milling machine more like the radial ram drills where you can, push the ram and stuff back and forth. I have an idea in the works. I don't know if it'll work, but we will see. So that's going through stuff. This is a good lot. Give a lot of, adapters, which are always handy. These straight adapters, I don't know. There's a 1 to number 1, 1 to number 2. This one's really thin walled. I mean, it holds I chucked a bit into it and didn't spin. This is really, really thin walled to me. So there's no maker's mark or anything on these. But they'll be handy. Yeah, I would love a radial arm drill amongst other machines. So yeah, I got to sort these tonight. Got to sort this stuff. I work, for those that don't know, I work a full-time normal day job. So I wake up at 6, go to my day job at 7, get home about 4. Then I have the machine shop. And that goes from 4 until I'm typically out in my shop till when my kids are not here until 11 o'clock at night. Doing work, and then there's always this kind of stuff to do. So, and then when my kids are here, I don't come out here. When my kids don't live with me full time, my kids are here, it's 100% them. It hasn't come up yet where a huge rush job has come in or an emergency job. Thankfully, my kids are interested in this stuff, so they'll go with me on a welding job sometimes. So they get to look at tractors and stuff while I weld implements back together. So you have a small shop like mine, and it's not full time. It becomes, full time, and you just have to work in between the two jobs that I have. So very busy. Hey, dancing alone. So yeah, typically this is the board. It's on the tail end of the big lathe. Yes, Lyndon. My kids will always come first. YouTube, the shop, anything else. When my kids are here, they have my full attention. Do I have a Bridgeport? No, because you pay a lot for the extra name. I have, let me rotate you around, the Frankenstein mill, which I love this thing. I've probably put I was trying to keep track, about 14 hours on it so far. No problems. Belt stays nice and cool. There's a rattle up there, but I think it's because the handle from right there. I love it. I could not have been happier with how this works, performance wise. Yes, aesthetically, it could look a little nicer. But that's my mill, and then over here, oh, I can't turn the camera the way on this mount. I have a Comet milling machine. Bridgeports around here go for $5,000-$6,000 wore out because you pay for the name, and these machines are just as capable. Let me bring you back. So yeah, let me check chat here for a second. For a small little lathe for a beginner, depending on the part of the country you're in, you can get a 10-inch or 12-inch Atlas or South Bend and stuff for pretty cheap. I'm not a fan of the like bench top, like 7x14s or whatever they are, the Harbor Freight ones. I've never honestly ran one. I know two people that have the Grizzly 13 by 40 or something like that. The very common Grizzly lathe a lot of people have, and they love them. No, they're not, Jose. And they love them, and they do very good work. And for smaller stuff, an older machine, some are flat belt driven, like a lot of the old Logans and a lot of the old South Bends. And if you could find an older lathe like that, they're very easy machines to learn on. They're very solid machines. You can put them anywhere. You can put them in your basement. You can put them on a bench. A lot of them will have cast iron legs on them. I would start with one of those. And the kind of the side benefit of a flat belt older lathe is if you do something like when you're just learning, not when you're like doing threading and stuff. If you run the belt a little loose and you crash it, a flat belt will slip. And it kind of acts like a clutch if you run the carriage into the chuck or do something like that. And you have to make sure it's single phase. A lot of the smaller lathes have 1-horse motors, and that's plenty for what most people do on them. And that thing too is on those older machines like that. If the motor goes out, it's very easy to just go to a yard sale or something, or pick a 1-horse motor up from Granger and throw it on there. All the gears will be metal. I think they're a very good machine. My first machine was a Logan. I don't remember the size. But it was one of the variable speed ones. Yeah, exactly. Good point. It's what you want to do with it. Because even in my shop, most of the work I do, besides pump impellers and stuff, like shafting and stuff, is 2-inch or less. So don't feel you need to get. Some parts of the country, you can get big, huge, giant dinosaur lathes for like $500. That'll swing 24 inches and have 48-inch beds. My old Hindi was like that. You can get some big old monsters for really cheap if you can move them. But they're big, and the bigger, older machines are clunky as far as the wear really shows, like the lead screws and stuff like that. So yeah, I'd start off as, if I had to pick a machine for someone to learn on, it'd be like an old Logan or Atlas or any of those. Very forgiving machines. You can still do good work on them. Easy to adapt, quick change tool post too. I still use a lot of high-speed steel. That's where I would start. And then if you're not want something newer, I'd go with one of those Grizzly 13 whatever 1336 or 1340s. They're decent machines. Thanks, Rail. Yes, they are. Someday soon here, I'm going to bring that little Logan turret lathe. It's on my covered back patio next to my barbecue. I'm going to bring it inside and start cleaning it up and doing some stuff to it. I took the collet chuck off it. It uses a very small collet, and I just put once you take the collet stuff off, it still had the normal spindle. So I just put a 4-jaw chuck on it for messing around with. But I'm going to bring it in here. And I'm still, there's a deal in the works. I got to talk to an old farmer guy about getting maybe a much larger turret lathe that is very well tooled. So, see how that goes. Because I got almost everything in the shop working. We're going to start working on, I don't know if I mentioned it before, I ordered the VFDs for the Cincinnati 118. So we're going to start getting it functioning. Because I have a big keyway cutting job coming up. I have 50 shafts I have to cut keyways into. It won't be a rush job. I have all winter to do it. A farmer's raising all his valves above ground. So there's shafts for the gearbox that go down to the butterfly valves. He wants 50 of them made, and I'd like to do them on that machine. I could do them on the bigger horizontal, but I would like to have that one done and, run some parts on it. So yeah, got that going. Staying busy. Harvest time's coming to an end. So field jobs, right? And I would like to bring you guys along on more field repairs, but it's hard. It's hard and I feel weird when someone's equipment's broken and I'm like, hey, let me set up my camera real quick while I weld this back together for you. Like I've said before, when you're on a job in the field, the time is not your own. And a lot of the times you're not alone out there. It's the operator, their maintenance dude, or the farm owners there. So so yeah, your time is not your own. And they need it up and running now. So you don't I thought about maybe getting a chest mount thing, or I'll try. I'll try to get more field work shown. And then recording jobs for YouTube does add some time to it. So I show the jobs that come in, but a lot of them are like super repeat jobs. Like, how many pump impellers do you want me to see, turning an inch off them? I got 2 pump impellers. I'll probably show 1 pump impeller this week or next week. I'm turning it down. I do a lot of repetitive work because I do a lot of work for irrigation districts and farmers and stuff. So I don't get a wide variety. NASA is not contacting me to do specialty jobs for them. So I do make do with the pumps and the motors I work on now. See, I got that gas-powered welder. I'm going to make a skid that can go onto a trailer with I got a gas-powered air compressor. Any updates on shop room? Shop's coming along. I mean, it's all... If you guys watched the tour video, I apologize for the sound issue in that video, by the way. The shop's pretty well good to go. In the winter or fall, a lot of motors and pumps come in that are just, redo over the winter. Small engines for full rebuilds. I got a couple Kawasaki's coming in for rebuilds, new rings and all that. So I'll have a lot more. I have places to put all that stuff, and then I just work on it. I peck through it throughout the winter. So I'll show some of that, especially the pump and the motor stuff. I do probably 50 or 60 motors during the winter, typically just new bearings and stuff like that. Nothing major. Sometimes a little weld buildup and turning on the shafts. I don't have anything crazy coming in. Pumps, it's just wear rings, which for most of them, it's not super bad. You buy them off the shelf. I'm in the Pacific Northwest. I'm in southeast Washington State. So yeah, then I got probably a dozen motors to rebuild. A couple welding jobs out in the field. Those I'll probably take you with. Thank you, Nancy Malone. I will keep that in mind. My field welding jobs, I make pump manifolds. Someone has 3 or 4 different size pumps they'll put into one. I'll film those because that's monotonous setup. They just leave me to it kind of jobs. Then make pump pads and make pad eyes on them for lifting and all that kind of stuff. Sorry for the squeaking. That is my chair. Yeah, look at this. Look at that little guy. It's not tightenable. Somewhere here, I got these. More stuff I need to sort away. Let's go through this bag real quick. That's a cool little tap wrench. There's no... I wonder if it was cut off. Looks like there's part of a number there. I'm sure there was a handle there at some point. Turns nice and freely. That's cool. Here's the die holder. Again, no name on that. Oh, there we go. Hold on. And I can't read it. Let me check chat real quick. No, I didn't. As soon as I started working on it, it cooled off. So I do have the evaporative water pump motor for it. I just haven't messed with it since. I've been just way too busy. And the rest in here is, these all need to be cleaned up. These were given to me. I mean, look at that tap. It's very wee. Camera doesn't want to focus today. Yeah, and just small taps, small dies. got a bunch of these bigger ones I need to go through. Oh, that's heavy. Got a couple die handles or die stock holders. I need to make new handles for. I got all these a while ago. Just haven't decided this week I need to sort everything away that was sitting over there. There's some bigger taps in here. That's a Greenfield 7/8. And when you go through stuff like this, when you buy it used, if it's dull, throw it away. Except for drill bits, which you can sharpen. If you have a tap that has a broken chip out of it or something, throw it away. Don't hoard this stuff. You know, I'm very picky when it comes to my used taps and stuff. And if it's at, of course, I have a bazillion of them. So that kind of helps with that. But if it at all is chipped or anything, I'd throw it away. These are all kind of before I put them in these bins, and I place them gently in the bin. I know they're touching, and that's bad. But sitting like that, they will be fine. It's not going to hurt nothing. Yeah. So what are you guys working on? Check chat here. Any big projects or new machines coming in? Anything like that? Any cool jobs? Now that I started live streaming, I don't feel like sorting things anymore. So I'm going to push that off till tomorrow. Yeah, I have not had dinner yet either. Oh, yeah. That's always a good choice, Rail. Always a good choice. Oh, some news you guys might be interested in. Sorry for the messy shop. Okay, back there, that's the base to the forehead drill press that you guys, if you watched my videos way back, like the first 4 or 5 I did, showed this machine all together. I still have the heads for it. And with the heads on it, it'll touch past that light. They're very tall. I think I'm going to bring the heads here and put the heads back on the table. They have a 2-speed motor in them with a 2-speed gearbox up top. The motor was very specific to them, but I might put them back on there. I'm debating it. It has been a very handy work table. It's got a big heavy steel plate bolted to it, and I do a lot of my motor work on it. But for the heads raise up enough, the part that holds the drill bit, that it wouldn't interfere with the work I do, and I think it would look cool to have the heads back on it. So I'll probably drag those here this weekend and take a look at it. For as big as that machine is, it only had number 1 taper things on it too. So I thought about boring them out to a number 2, at least like maybe 2 of them, but we'll see. That's not a high priority, obviously, in the shop. Yeah. Again, love that thing. Absolutely love it. And I know I've only put like 12 or so hours on it. I'm really curious to see, for those of you who didn't watch the videos, this belt is going. I cut a V groove into the rotor of the original motor. I'm curious to see how that stuff wears because it's just a whole bunch of laminations. It was never designed to be a pulley, so that'll be in that'll be interesting. There's no signs of like dust or anything in there from it wearing or anything yet. But again, I've only have about 12 hours on it. But yeah, that was the only thing when I did. I thought about turning the rotor down more and press fitting a pulley onto it. But in the end, I just said, I'll just cut it into the rotor and we'll go with that. Yeah, this thing is cool. I enjoyed for how for for how it's functioning. I do need to get the oiler. It's split a line. The line that goes up in here is split, so I need to tinker with that when I get a chance. But I keep it all well lubricated. I just spray it with that Prism stuff I get from Lawson, and it does the trick. Okay, on this milling machine, the body casting, it has a jet tag on it. So this part's all jet. The original head that was on it had a Kent tag on it. And they sold the same head. It was almost identical to this head, except for this region here is smaller. Everything, you could put every single thing from this head on, except for the motor, onto that other head. And it was a Kent. This is an Acer branded head. So I'm not sure who the original manufacturer was that made it for all these different people. But when I purchased it, they said it had a Jet branded head on it, and they put the Kent one on it. So I think they said they replaced this whole arm and the other head. So yeah, it's got an Acer head on a Kent arm on a Jet body. But again, some manufacturer made all these same parts. So yeah. And there's a shaper hanging out. There's the Reed Prentice. Love that machine. My little tool cart there, which I need to get a better one because this is a really cheap Craftsman one, and some of the rails have broken it. So from me putting way too much weight in it. So. And the big 24-inch pedestal grinder. That will be in the shop this weekend. I'm going to start disassembling the wheel covers. I'm going to take the wheels off. A friend of mine told me about a place where you can send grinding wheels, and they will bake them, they'll mount them, and they spin them to, I forget if it's 25 or 30% faster, in a big safety cage thing. And they'll true them up. And it was very economical considering the cost of those wheels. The Norton grinding wheels that are on that grinder right now are about $1,200 a piece. And for a couple hour drive time and dropping them off, I could get these wheels done for significantly cheaper. The rounded wheel, the wheels for the grinder are 24-inch diameter and they're 4 inches wide. The rounded wheel, I'll just keep rounded. I really wish those wheels weren't as aggressive as they are, but I'm not going to buy new wheels. And I honestly thinking about it, I don't know how soft of a wheel they make for a 24-inch grinder. So, but I kid you not. you can take one of those 3/4 inch or whatever concrete form stakes, and on the big flat wheel, you can almost push it in, and it will eat it as fast as you push it. So, but yeah, the one wheel has some oil soak in it from a oil leak from the arm supports. I called Norton about it, and it doesn't. It's not a super high fast spinning wheel, and they weren't, of course. Oh yeah, if you have any doubt, buy a new wheel. I was like, well, yeah, and they weren't overly concerned about it, but talking to that buddy of mine, for like for both the wheels, if I drop them off, it'll be $200 to have them tested, cleaned up, trued up, and all that. So that's a small price to pay, because that machine it's spooky when it's running. It's just, I don't know what it is about that grinder. The first couple of times I turned it on, I pushed the on button with a broom handle, and I just let it run for, I think the first time I let it run for an hour, just to make sure the wheels are fine. So yeah, we'll get it in here. There's a sandblasting place that's going to take care of the motor part of it and the base. They're treating me very well. They said if I drop it off and I don't care within a couple weeks when it gets done, they'll just throw a couple guys on it at the end of the day. So for like $75, they'll no, $100. They'll sand it and prime it. And then I'm going to take the wheels to get them tested and all that stuff, put them back on, and it'll be as not hillbilly as it sounds. It's going to go on my back patio. It's covered back there because the grinder it's too big for a shop my size. I mean, so I'm going to move. I have a covered back patio. I don't entertain very often, and that's where the Johnson bandsaw, another bandsaw I'm going to get, the big grinder, and I'm going to build a steel rack underneath there. So that'll all be out of there. Because I don't like grinding dust in my shop. That's why I've been meaning to make that base for the grinder I did last week, is so I can just push it out towards the door and get all that stuff out of there. Because grinding dust, as you know, gets everywhere. So that stuff will all be on my back patio. And like I said, it's covered. I live in a very dry region, so nothing's going to rust or anything. The machines I work on, the extra machines, the lathes and stuff, that's where they always sit before they come into the shop. Yeah, this stuff to sort. This is just normal drill bits here. It's all taps, some dies. I don't know if any of you have ever ran one of these on a lathe. My grandpa used to. Going slow. They worked. I'm sure that's not what they were designed for. I might do it just to see. Still not sure what this thing is. There were a couple of bits like this, the countersinks. And there's a hex in there. And they go in here. And then it's spring loaded, and you can feel it cam. When it gets down like that, I don't know if you can hear that. It's hard to hold that because it's really sharp. But it's almost like it's camming over something. So there's no brand on it. I thought about just chucking it into a drill and putting some kind of driver bit into it and see what it does. But spring loaded for about a quarter of an inch. So if you know what that is, feel free to tell me. So yeah, this is more yard sale stuff I need to put away. Find spots for. I'm switching all of my oil cans over to these for my lathes and drills. That is very hard to tip over. So I'll put more of those. I'll go for another 10 or so minutes. I really actually need to get some of this done tonight, and you guys just aren't helping. That's a Lufkin, or Lufkin, or I typically say Lufkin, so I don't know why I said Lufkin. Very nice shape. Especially for the $5 it was. Some of my customers comment, a lot of my tools still have the price tags on them and stuff. Just a beautiful tool. These hand vices are super cool. This is actually my first one. That'll come in handy too. Here's that Starrett parallel clamp. I don't use these like hardly at all. I don't have many of them. I think this is only like my third. Here's fencing pliers. Not sure why I bought those, but someone told me, who knows more about tools than I do, that these might be blacksmith made. He said, judging by the way the rivet is on it and a few other things, how the insides are flat, they're not like caved in a little bit. I don't know. So there'll be a video. I'm going to start it tomorrow. That big job I have coming up where I have to do those 50 shafts. I have to cut them and everything. I have forever been meaning to build a roller stand for the Johnson bandsaw for longer stock. So I'm going to do that. It's going to be mounted to a truck brake drum. I don't know if I'm going to do the videos type where I don't talk, I just show the work. I'll probably do that. Even though the first couple steps are going to be very similar to the last one. But this, I'm going to make the stand adjustable so I can use it on the milling machines too. So I'll do a video on that where I actually show how I'm designing it. Not that it's anything fancy or anything. I just got a 24-inch section of 1-inch all thread I'm going to use to adjust it up and down. Okay, guys, I need to eat. I need to get more work done. So, yeah, thanks for joining in. Thanks for commenting. Thanks for watching. I got some more videos coming out this week, and really, I'm excited to get those VFDs in for the Cincinnati so I can start tinkering on it more. There'll be a video of me reassembling the quill feed for it. I got it all cleaned up. I just need to paint it. And I'll put the hydraulic manifold stuff back together. So yeah, those will be coming up, and any other cool things that show up in the shop. Okay, so yep, see you later, Rail. Again, thanks for everyone for joining me in the shop for a little bit, kind of that after hours shop video. And we will see you later. Let me see if I can figure out how to end this. Oh, there we go. Okay, see you guys later.